Bison blocking snow-covered roads while geysers erupt through winter silence, and snowmobiles carving fresh tracks across the world's first national park. Wyoming delivers America's most iconic winter motorized adventure, accessible only during the coldest months. I found 11 ways to experience Wyoming snowmobiling, from completely free observation at Old Faithful Snow Lodge to $1,200 multi-day backcountry expeditions through terrain accessible only by machine. And here's what shocked me. You can witness Yellowstone's winter majesty for free, while most visitors spend $300 for guided snowmobile tours they could experience independently for half the cost. Welcome to Wyoming, home to 2,000 miles of groomed snowmobile trails, Yellowstone National Park's winter transformation, creating wildlife viewing impossible during summer crowds, and the Continental Divide Snowmobile Trail connecting Jackson Hole to Yellowstone through pristine wilderness. Whether you're watching snowmobilers depart from warming huts or booking private guides accessing remote geyser basins, Wyoming delivers snowmobiling at every budget level. I'm showing you 4 distinct Wyoming snowmobile experiences, starting at $0 for winter, spectating and wildlife viewing. And the luxury option? You'll be riding custom high-performance machines with naturalist guides, staying at exclusive snow lodges inside Yellowstone, and accessing backcountry terrain where you're guaranteed to see wolves, bison, and grizzly bears. Before we dive in, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you can follow my journey through all 50 states, from completely free to absolute luxury. And if you want to plan your next big adventure, I've created a free Ultimate Adventure Planner with budget calculators and trip planning worksheets. Grab it right now at theearnesttraveler.com, completely free, links in the description. Adventure number 1, completely free. And here's what most winter Yellowstone visitors completely miss. Here's the insider secret that costs nothing. Old Faithful Snow Lodge Visitors Center provides free heated viewing of snowmobilers departing for backcountry tours while waiting for Old Faithful's predictable eruptions every 90 minutes. You're experiencing Yellowstone's winter transformation. Bison covered in frost, thermal features creating steam clouds visible for miles, and the complete absence of summer's 4 million annual visitors. The contrast is dramatic. Summer's traffic jams and crowded boardwalks replaced by winter silence, where sound carries for miles and wildlife behaves naturally without human pressure. You're seeing the park Theodore Roosevelt experienced before mass tourism transformed wilderness into theme park. But wait, there's free snowmobiles spectating beyond Yellowstone that delivers equal drama. Togwotee Pass between Jackson Hole and Dubois attracts hundreds of snowmobilers daily during peak season. You're watching machines launch into powder fields from Continental Divide snowmobile trail parking areas, observing backcountry riders accessing terrain visible from Highway 287. The free show includes spectacular crashes, stuck sleds requiring group rescue, and occasional wildlife sightings when moose cross snowmobile trails. You know what's wild? Yellowstone allows only 450 snowmobiles daily inside park boundaries during winter, creating a lottery system where some riders wait months for permits while you can observe for free without restrictions. National Elk Refuge sleigh rides cost $30, but watching 5,000 elk gather on the refuge costs nothing from Highway 191 pullouts. Snowmobilers frequently stop at these same viewpoints, creating opportunities to speak with riders about trail conditions, equipment recommendations, and favorite routes without spending money on rentals or tours. Free observation delivers winter spectacle and insider knowledge. But for $150 to $200, you actually ride snowmobiles through Wyoming wilderness. Here's the budget breakdown.
Adventure number 2, budget-friendly. For $150 to $200, you're operating powerful snowmobiles through Wyoming backcountry on guided half-day tours that balance affordability with genuine adventure. Togwotee Mountain Lodge offers $175 for half-day snowmobile tours through national forest terrain with 0 permit hassles or Yellowstone restrictions. You're riding groomed trails and powder fields with Teton Range views, learning machine operation from experienced guides, and accessing terrain that delivers legitimate backcountry experience without the complexity of Yellowstone's regulatory requirements. The tours include all equipment, helmet, bib overalls, boots, gloves, eliminating the need to purchase expensive gear for a single-day experience. You're riding modern four-stroke machines that are quieter, more powerful, and easier to operate than the two-stroke sleds that dominated snowmobiling for decades. Here's what locals actually do. Rent snowmobiles independently for $150 per day, and ride Continental Divide Snowmobile Trail without guides. You're accessing the same terrain guide services charged $300 for, saving $150 by navigating with GPS and trail maps available free from ranger stations. Wyoming law requires snowmobile registration, but allows visitors to ride rental machines legally, without additional permits on most public land. The freedom to explore independently appeals to experienced riders comfortable with GPS navigation and backcountry travel. And get this, Togwotee Pass receives 450 inches of annual snowfall, creating powder conditions that rival Jackson Hole's legendary skiing but cost 1/5 the price to access. Grand Teton National Park allows snowmobiles on Jackson Lake's frozen surface from December through March. You're riding across a 15-mile-long alpine lake surrounded by 13,000-foot peaks, accessing islands and shoreline impossible to reach during summer boat season. The experience combines machine operation with wilderness scenery that defines Wyoming winter. Here's the money-saving trick. Book midweek tours Tuesday through Thursday when demand drops, and outfitters offer 20 to 30% discounts. Weekend tours fill with Denver and Salt Lake City visitors willing to pay premium prices, while smart travelers ride Wednesday for $125 instead of Saturday's $175. Budget snowmobiling delivers real Wyoming backcountry access. But for $300 to $400 per day, you enter Yellowstone National Park, where bison, geysers, and wolves create experiences impossible anywhere else. Wait until you see what that unlocks. Adventure number 3, mid-range comfort. For $300 to $400, you're snowmobiling through Yellowstone National Park, where winter access reveals wildlife and thermal features hidden beneath summer's tourist crowds. Yellowstone snowmobile tours cost $325 for full-day guided experiences departing from West Yellowstone or Flag Ranch. You're riding groomed over snow routes past Old Faithful, Grand Prismatic Spring, and the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, while bison block your path and steam from thermal features creates otherworldly visibility. The guides provide naturalist interpretation explaining why bison survive negative 40-degree temperatures, how thermal features create microclimates supporting unique plant species, and where wolves hunt elk in Lamar Valley. You're not just riding machines, but receiving comprehensive education about Yellowstone's winter ecology from professionals who work the park year-round. Remember those $150 Togwotee tours from the budget tier? Now imagine riding past erupting geysers, watching bison herds numbering 300 animals, and accessing thermal basins where steam creates visibility measured in feet rather than miles. Old Faithful Snow Lodge provides the only lodging inside Yellowstone's winter interior, creating overnight snowmobile experiences where you're staying 20 feet from Old Faithful Geyser. The 2-day snowmobile packages cost $700, including lodging, meals, and guided tours, transforming single-day trips into immersive winter expeditions. You're eating dinner while Old Faithful erupts outside the dining room windows, sleeping in wilderness 60 miles from the nearest plowed road, and waking to bison grazing between lodge buildings. The isolation creates experiences impossible during summer, when 30,000 daily visitors overwhelm infrastructure. Yellowstone's winter solitude reveals the park's genuine character. Wildlife behaving naturally without human pressure, thermal features undisturbed by boardwalk crowds, and complete silence broken only by geyser eruptions and bison vocalizations. You're experiencing wilderness authenticity that drew early explorers before tourism infrastructure transformed nature into entertainment. Mid-range Yellowstone snowmobiling delivers bucket list wildlife and thermal experiences. But for $800 to $1,200 per day, you access private guides, custom machines, and multi-day backcountry expeditions that separate casual riders from committed adventurers. Here's what the luxury tier provides. Adventure number 4, absolute luxury. For $800 to $1,200 per day, you're experiencing Wyoming snowmobiling with private naturalist guides, high-performance machines, and multi-day expeditions accessing terrain commercial tours never reach. Private Yellowstone snowmobile guides cost $800 per day for one-on-one or small group experiences customized to your wildlife interests and riding ability. You're determining the pace, choosing which thermal features to explore, and spending unlimited time photographing wolves in Lamar Valley, while commercial tours rush past on fixed schedules. The guides carry professional camera equipment, communicate with park biologists via radio to locate wolf packs and grizzly bears, and adjust itineraries in real time based on wildlife activity. You're not following a predetermined route, but creating custom experiences responding to that day's unique opportunities. And here's something most people don't even know exists. Yellowstone allows certain outfitters to access backcountry areas beyond groomed routes, delivering snowmobile experiences in terrain where you're the only humans for 10 miles in any direction. Multi-day backcountry snowmobile expeditions through the Wyoming range cost $1,200 per day for 3 to 5 day trips, staying in remote warming huts, accessible only by machine. You're riding Continental divide terrain through aspen forests and alpine bowls, sleeping in off-grid cabins heated by wood stoves, and covering 150 miles of trails over multiple days. The expeditions attract serious riders seeking adventure beyond Yellowstone's restrictions and groomed trail limitations. You're navigating using GPS and topo maps, breaking trail through untracked powder, and operating machines in terrain where mistakes create genuine consequences, requiring self-rescue skills. Brooks Lake Lodge offers luxury snowmobile packages, combining $900 per night accommodations with private guided tours accessing Togwotee Pass backcountry. The historic lodge provides gourmet dining featuring Wyoming game meats, outdoor hot tubs overlooking the Pinnacle Buttes, and ski-in access to trails departing directly from the property. You're returning from full-day rides to 5-star amenities, craft cocktails, heated pools, and cuisine that rivals Jackson Hole's acclaimed restaurants. The combination of genuine backcountry adventure with luxury lodging creates experiences unavailable at budget motels lining West Yellowstone's main street. Private helicopter-supported snowmobile adventures cost $1,500 per person for days, combining helicopter flights into remote terrain with snowmobile, descents through untracked powder. You're accessing Wyoming range high country impossible to reach by trail, riding peaks visible from Jackson Hole, and experiencing terrain only heli skiers and snowmobilers with aircraft support ever see. So there you have it. 4 completely different ways to experience Wyoming snowmobiling. Same winter wilderness. Same Teton and Yellowstone landscapes. 4 distinct adventures at 4 budget levels. Free observation at Old Faithful and Togwotee Pass costs nothing while delivering winter spectacle and snowmobile culture. Budget half-day tours provide $150 to $200 access to national forest terrain with mountain views. Mid-range Yellowstone tours deliver $300 to $400 experiences with bison, geysers, and naturalist guides. Luxury private guides and multi-day expeditions create $800 to $1,200 adventures, accessing terrain and wildlife commercial tours never reach. Which Wyoming snowmobile experience matches your adventure style? Drop a comment below. Have you snowmobiled in Yellowstone? What wildlife encounters surprised you most? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button because I'm taking you through all 50 states from completely free to absolute luxury. Friday, we're exploring Jackson, Wyoming beyond skiing. From Freetown Square elk antler arches to luxury cowboy culture you won't believe exists. See you in the next adventure.